Well, hello there, gang. Welcome to the 30. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. It is a pleasure to have you on the 30. If this is your very first time viewing the 30, my name is Patrick Jackman. I am your host, and I want to thank you for being here today. Well, we have a very special guest as we celebrate Christmas. Hey, this is a pretty nice Christmas sweater. But anyhow, we have a very special guest. Christmas and this holiday season is a joyous occasion for most, but there are some that that struggle, go through some challenging times during the time of the holiday. And I've invited a very special guest. I've known her for probably going on 19 years now. And she's a very dynamic person. And she's going to be talking about combating what we call holiday blues. So make sure that you share this with someone else. Share the broadcast, send it out. We're streaming live to Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. So make sure that you share this with someone. And if you have any questions or comments as we go through the broadcast, as we speak with Stephanie, make sure that you drop them in a comments field and I'll bring them up for her. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hello there, gang. Once again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Welcome to the 30 on another Thursday. If it's Thursday, it must be the 30. So if this is your first time, thank you. Thank you for those that continue to view us and contact us and let us know what is going on. We appreciate you. Let us know where you're watching from. Just drop it in a comments field and let us know. Also, if you have any questions, today's comment or today's topic is going to be combating the holiday blues. As I said, this is a joyous occasion. Christmas is a joyous occasion. The holiday season is wonderful for family getting around and sharing stories and serving others and giving gifts. But for some, it can be a very challenging time. And to help us get through some of these times, what we call holiday blues with some specific strategies, I am going to bring my dear wife in. If you don't know, she is my wife, and she is also a licensed clinician or clinical therapist and a mental health consultant. Steph, welcome to the 30. I think this is your third time on.
It is my third time. Thank you so much for having me, Pat. It's nice to be here again.
Well, welcome, welcome. Today's topic is going to be combating the holiday blues. But before we get started, tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and what you represent.
Great. So thanks again for having me. So I am Stephanie Jackman. I am the owner of Stephanie Jackman LCSW PLLC. We are a behavioral health firm in Rochester, New York. We have a team of licensed mental health therapists that provide individual and group and family mental health services throughout New York State and actually across the country. We also have a team of mental health consultants where we go into government agencies and detention centers and correctional facilities and group homes and provide mental health supports and program development for those particular agencies.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Now, how many years, Steph, have you been a practicing clinical therapist and mental health consultant?
So I have been a therapist, Pat, for About 15 years. I have 15 years of experience. And as a mental health consultant, it has been 11 years now. So time is flying by.
Awesome. And specifically, who is your target clientele, or who's your clientele?
So, our clientele is anyone between the ages of 6 to 99 that may be suffering with some type of mental health condition, whether it's a chronic mental health condition such as bipolar disorder or major depressive disorder, or it could be just an adjustment disorder, something that someone has been dealing with or challenged with for the last 3 to 6 months. And we serve, as I stated before, individuals, families, couples, children, and adolescents at our office.
Great. And you've been doing this for a while, as you said. What was your motivation? Why did you get into this field?
Yeah, that was a great question. So initially, back in 2003, when I completed grad school, I wasn't sure exactly what it is that I wanted to do. And then, lo and behold, um, I kind of just landed in the mental health field. And when I did land in the mental health field, what I found is, particularly back then, there were not a lot of practitioners that looked like me. So there were not a lot of Black and Brown practitioners back in 2003, 2006, when I became licensed. Licensed. So I decided to move forward in the field of mental health and pretty much attempt to tear down some of the stigma that's in the Black and Brown communities around the topic of mental health.
Awesome. Now, you and I had a conversation as we were talking about the 30 and this time of the year, and we had a conversation around how best can we serve our communities, not just here in Rochester, but across the country and across the world based on our viewership. How best can we serve them during this time? Because we know that this is a joyous time. Christmas is a joyous occasion uh, during a holiday season where people spend time with family. But this, for some, it can also be a very depressing time, a very struggling time, and what you term as the holiday blues. First, why the term holiday blues?
Well, that's a great question. So, as you stated, Pat, the holiday time, it's a great time to connect with family and friends. But for many individuals, it's also a time of stress. It's also a time of anxiety, disappointment, and sadness for many reasons, particularly for this particular Christmas season and last Christmas season. It's been different, right, with COVID. And throughout both of these past holiday seasons, many individuals have experienced a lot of grief and loss. And so, in addition to everything else that comes with the holidays, it's really important to understand that, yes, it is a joyous season. We're celebrating, the reason for the season in terms of the birth of Christ. But for many people, it can also be very, very challenging. And it's okay for it to be a challenging time for people. And I encourage people to embrace those feelings and be sure that, they utilize their support system during this time, because some of what they are feeling is certainly very normal.
What are, if you were to put a list down, what are the maybe the top five things that people struggle with during this time? And then I'm going to ask you as a follow up, during COVID, has those five changed? So first, what are the five things traditionally?
Sure, sure. So, again, a great question. I would say the top five things that many individuals struggle with during this holiday season is going to be um, having unrealistic expectations of themselves as well as others, the desire to want to overspend, the challenges of depression and anxiety, and as I stated earlier, just struggles with grief and loss. So I would say those would be the top areas that many individuals may struggle with when it comes to the holiday blues.
And during this time, the last year or 2 years of COVID, I can't remember, year and 2 years. It's all a blur to me now because so many things have happened over this time. Has those five things shifted, or has other things came up that people are struggling with during this time?
Well, I think in addition to those things, right, there are other things that individuals are struggling with. So, as you are aware, over this time period with COVID, many individuals that may not have struggled with mental health conditions or depression or anxiety during the time of COVID, they realized that they are having some adjustment around depression and anxiety. Some of the things that we were formerly able to do, such as travel and spend time with family and friends and visit others, and things that we certainly take for granted, such as myself, right? So, things like going out to dinner and going to the movies, at the beginning of the pandemic, those things we were not able to participate in. And oftentimes, those are things that kind of keep us moving and going. And we don't necessarily have to sit with ourselves because we were so busy moving and going. Well, throughout COVID, we had to sit with ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of that, it really caused many individuals to see where they may be struggling with not being able to move around as much, not being as active, not being able to visit, right? So, one of the major challenges that I think uh, I had was not physically being able to go into certain places, right? So, having uh, dinner with you and with family and friends, being able to go into our church and our synagogues and being able to worship in person and face to face. So many individuals were very isolated, and they really, really struggled with that, particularly those individuals that may already live alone, that may be single, or some of our senior populations.
Now, this morning, I did a video in our breakthrough group. Shout out, hashtag breakthrough. If you're not in our private Facebook group, make sure that you join that. And someone, Anna, had responded and posted for the group that she had struggled this year. That this year has been a very challenging year for her because she lost her mom and her stepmom.
Sure.
How would you, what would you say to Anna or someone else that have lost loved ones, and this is the first year that they're not there?
Sure. Yeah. And that right now, unfortunately, is so common for many of us, right? That as we have prepared Thanksgiving meals and Thanksgiving tables, we are preparing for Christmas Eve dinners and Christmas Day dinners, that there may be an empty seat at the table. And many of us are dealing with that at this particular time as it pertains to COVID and just normal loss and grief of loved ones and family members. So, for those families that may be struggling, and this is the first time without their loved one this holiday, be sure to honor their memory.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is look at old photos, look at old VHS videos, pictures and videos that you may have stored on your phone. Make sure that you step into carrying out traditions in which that individual may have carried out when they were with you. And if that is too difficult for you in terms of carrying out those traditions, then in their honor, the honor of your loved one, be sure to then create new traditions that you may find your loved one may have enjoyed if they were with you as well. So the grieving process is a normal process for all of us. It just looks different for all of us.
Mm. So looking at, so those are the things, or what you call the holiday blues, or the
Yes.
struggles that individuals may be experiencing during the Christmas and the holiday season. I know you talked about some strategies. Can you lay out more specific strategies that someone or someone's can have during this time, so that our viewers can look at it? And I know that one size does not fit all, but are they specific strategies that someone can take during this holiday time, during Christmas time? What are some of those?
Sure, sure. So, um, first, I would just want to recommend that happiness is a choice. Okay. So, it's really important to choose happiness during that time. Focus on the positive, and operate in a spirit of gratitude.
Hmm.
That's very, very important. We all have something to be thankful and grateful for. I would encourage you during this time period that if you do not have a gratitude journal, start one. Start one as immediate as tonight, right? Because we all have something to be thankful and grateful for, many things. Second thing I would recommend in terms of a strategy is have realistic expectations of yourself and for other people, right? So remember, there's no perfect family, there's no perfect spouse, there's no perfect um, partner, there's not going to be a perfect holiday. So leave room for error and extend yourself and your loved ones grace. That is so very, very important. Okay. There's going to be bumps in the road, right? But what's most important, particularly after these two Christmases that we have had, is spending time with one another. Okay. The third point I would say is find topics of agreement with your loved ones, whatever that may be, whatever those topics of agreement are. Find them, hone in on those, and talk about those things, right? So, again, because we haven't had holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving traditionally like years prior to COVID, have fun, enjoy each other, do some fun activities. Make sure that you're playing board games. Make sure that you go outside with the kids if you're in an area where it's snowing and build a snowman with them. Do arts and crafts, build gingerbread houses, all of those types of things to kind of lighten the mood a little bit. And then the last point I would say, Pat, is to make sure that even in all the fun times and you're partying and reconvening, um, limit excessive alcohol and illegal substances. And you laugh, but the reason I say that is because alcohol is a depressant,
Mhm.
and it does not necessarily help situations that may already be a little escalated. So you want to limit that. We're not telling you to have a good time, but what I would recommend as a professional is to be responsible in all that you do, because alcohol can definitely contribute to additional challenges within the family systems.
Great advice. Is there anything else that you would advise or suggest? Not advise, but suggest or recommend?
Again, know your capacity,
Mhm.
right? So we are at December 23rd. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Uh, know your capacity. I'll use myself for an example today. Today was a day where I had to know my capacity. So, what did I do? I asked you to bring home food, right, for our dinner. So, it's important to know your capacity and ask for help when you need it. That's very, very important.
Okay, that goes into my bucket. Brought home food. Let's see here. Let's say hi to a couple of people. Erica says, "Hi, Patrick." Cindy Ray says, "A big hello from Plano, Texas." Cindy Ray also says, uh, "So well said. Happiness is definitely a choice. Thank you for such great advice." And again, if you have any questions or comments for Steph, our topic today is combating the holiday blues. We all know that this time of the year, as I said, is a very joyous time, a very exciting time, a happy time where we can get together. But with care, right? With care, we're still in a pandemic. We also know that people struggle specifically during holidays and during this Christmas time and this holiday season. So Steph is here. She's given us some ideas and thoughts that will help us all to have a successful and a joyous Christmas and season. So give us drop a comment or a question if you have that for Steph, and she'll be happy to answer that for you. Now, does the holiday blues go on after the holiday?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. So, January rolls around. And as I mentioned earlier, some of the challenges that we may have is wanting to ensure that we get the best possible gift that we can get for our loved ones, knowing that we may not have the financial resources to be able to do so. Right. And as January rolls around, life is still happening. So that means credit card bills are going to start coming in. Different household payments are due. And so it's really important to make sure that you're not overspending. It's important to make sure that we don't get bogged down in terms of a lot of debt and consumerism, because all of those things we have to address and deal with in January. So in January, many individuals start looking at, setting goals and setting visions for their individually and for their families. And so it's important to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. What do I mean by that? Throughout the year, if you're struggling with depression and anxiety and things of that nature, again, to make sure that you ask for help, because some of the things that you may be dealing with during the holiday time, it's not just because of the holiday, but it certainly can be things that are ongoing and may need to be addressed.
Great, great advice. Thank you, Steph. We have just a couple of minutes left here. If you have any questions or comments for Steph, make sure that you drop them in the comments field. If you watch it in replay and you want to contact Steph, if someone want to contact you, I know you are in New York State. If someone wants to contact your company, how do they go about that?
Great. So our office number is 585-358-0512. That is our main office number. We have a team of New York State licensed therapists that would be more than happy to assist you and your loved ones in any way that they possibly can. And then please feel free to check out our website as well. That is www.stephaniejackmanpllc.com.
All right, and it's right there, right? So make sure that you check that out. That's Stephanie Jackman PLLC.com. Let's see here. Cindy Ray's on fire here. Cindy, shout out to you, you and Bruce and the family. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to a wonderful couple. Wishing you the very best of everything. Thank you, Cindy. That's very nice. And
Thank
if
you.
you don't know Cindy Ray, she is the owner of C Ray's Thought Pops, a great friend of ours. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you, Cindy, Bruce, and the family. Let's see, we have Anne. Hey, Anne, great advice, Steph. Happiness is absolutely a choice. Shout out
Thank
to
you.
Anne and the entire family. So great to see you, Anne, um, and my boys, well, not boys anymore, grown men. Earl, her husband, and the two grown men, Dee and Brandon. Shout out to you guys. So, Steph, as we end, we always end with what we call rapid fire,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yes.
here we go. Rapid fire. And those of you, if this is your first time watching the 30, this is what we do. Rapid fire is when we ask all of our guests a series of questions and their response has to be quick, right? So I'm going to ask, I think 4 or 5. Five. So the first one is what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is pizza.
Oh, jeez. You couldn't say anything else but
No,
pizza.
pizza.
No rice and peas or no,
Sorry.
no vegan meals.
Sorry,
Oh,
pizza. You know
jeez.
I eat pizza with mushrooms now, right? Just mushrooms. We share that. So pizza.
Okay. Your favorite place to vacation?
Oh, definitely, definitely. I have many, but the top one would be Hawaii. HI.
The chai. Okay. The 808.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Ray and Kara and all of our friends in the 808. Let's see. Your favorite movie?
Wow, my favorite movie. Um, I have a couple, I would say. I would say How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
Okay.
I would say
Gee, you go way back.
Boomerang, Set It Off.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I love the old movies. Oh, you
Okay.
know that. Yeah, so
Yep.
those are three that I just absolutely love.
Okay, got two more for you. And
Okay.
by the way, Anne says pizza, yuck. There we go. Exactly.
Come on, Ann. Okay, what about ice cream and brownies? You know I love those too.
Okay, here we go. Next one.
Okay.
Your favorite musical artist?
Oh, jeez. Okay. So my favorite group, I
No,
don't
no,
know if
no.
I
Your
have
favorite musical artist first.
I don't know if I have a favorite artist. Now, so I definitely have a crush on Dougie Fresh. You
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But my favorite musical group is Earth, Wind and Fire.
Okay, all right. Favorite song?
Um wow, you are throwing me for some loops here. Favorite song? Right now, I would
No,
say
just in general.
mm, right now I would say my favorite song is Lord You Are Good by Todd Galbert.
Okay, good,
Yes.
good song, good song.
Yes.
All right, let's end here. Anne says all the best for you and the family for the coming year, and thank you, Anne. And for
Thank you.
pizza, and nope, for ice cream and brownie, she says that is all right.
All right, Ann. There you go, Ann.
And Cindy Ray says, love EWF. Oh, go
Woohoo!
Cindy Ray.
There you
C
go.
Ray.
That's right, C Ray.
All right. As we end, Steph, thank you so very much. Are there any last words that you'd like to tell our viewers to take care of themselves and any
Yeah.
parting words?
So thanks again, Pat, for having me. This was great. My last parting words would be, remember Christ is the reason for the season and time. We haven't had a lot of time with our loved ones and our family and our friends over the past 21 months, right? So make sure you spend some time. Time with your loved ones is priceless.
Mhm. Great. Well, you are off the hot seat. Let's see here before we go. Erica says pizza all day, every day, brownies and ice cream occasionally.
Awesome. That's
don't
okay, Erica.
don't start it, Erica. Oh my gosh.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, you are off. I want to thank you. Thank you
Thanks.
so
Yeah.
very much. And thanks our viewers. Make sure that you take the wisdom that was given by Steph and take care of yourself, folks. Take
Mhm.
care of during this season. Make sure that you take care of yourself and take care of each other. All right. We want to make sure that we see 2022 and we know 2022 is going to be a banner year. So take care of yourself. So Steph, thank you once again. I appreciate it. And we will be chatting momentarily.
Thank you. Be safe, everyone. Thanks again.
Okay, so that is Stephanie Jackman of Stephanie Jackman PLLC. You can reach her. It's actually at Stephanie Jackman PLLC. That's the website, but it's Stephanie Jackman LCSW PLLC. That is her firm. I want to thank you, all of you, for joining us during this time in 2021. Our final show is going to be next week, so you don't want to miss that. But I want to thank you for being here for this show. This was a very important show because we know that people are hurting during this time. So thank you for just being here. Thank you for showing up. Make sure that you share this broadcast with someone else. If you miss any of our previous broadcasts, go to YouTube. Go to the Jackman Group LLC YouTube channel, and all of our broadcasts are listed there. All right. So until then, continue being safe, continue sharing love, serve each other, and make sure that you are safe. Make sure that you're covered and protect yourself and your family from COVID-19 the best that you can. Until then, peace, love, and happiness. We'll see you then.